football and all the stats about the games, players, positions, and teams. This is also what I came back to. How my topic adapting my project according to how the NFL had changed their structure. I also decided to make predictions about the stats and how having no crowds would directly impact play of the game. Sports analysts are divided into two categories: commenting and journaling, and making projections based on stats. From doing research on the topic, I realized there are two types of sports analysis, and I chose the statistical part of it. Sports statisticians look at all aspects of stats to help them interpret and analyze data. Why sports analysis is important? Analysis is important. Sports analytics are important because the analysis and interpretation of data help to make predictions, improve the quality of play, prevent injury, increase revenue, and improve the overall performance of the NFL. Teams use sports analysis to put them at an advantage before games start. Although I love all aspects of football, I enjoy watching wide receivers and cornerbacks the most. Also, for the 1 year I played football in 5th grade, these were the two positions I played. Being able to relate to the position when I watch plays a big role to why I like the position so much. I chose these two images to show the different types of positions and around where they would line up on the field. Showing each position has its own individual and specific role.
For some reason, it's not showing up on our end.
Really?
Yeah, there's two pictures in there, but they're not showing up on our end.
Oh.
You want to try just advancing the slide?
Yeah, maybe try that. Just hit enter.
Oh, okay.
It's working now.
Oh, there it goes.
Did enter again for the next slide?
Yeah, so there's the picture. It didn't show the first time. Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay. Home field advantage in sports is when, oh, but then I can't see the.
Okay. Nicole, for some reason, it's behind the slide.
What's behind the slide?
So what he's reading is not what we're seeing.
Do you need to go to the next slide to see what you're reading?
But then I would skip the slide I'm on right now.
All right, I have an idea. We're going to go back to this slide, and we're going to present from here.
We good?
Yep. Now it works.
All right. Home field advantage in sports is when it's predicted that the home teams will have an advantage over the visiting team. Some factors that contribute to this is fans not having to travel and environmental factors such as different weathers. Not having home field advantage means there may not be a lot of fans and players can get distracted. There may not be many of their fans and players might get distracted by the noise. Over a large sample size, it is documented that the average NFL game is won by the home team by a score of just below 3 points. What is even more telling is that the NFL home team usually wins between 55 and 60% of the time. Trends and statistics from 2010 to 2020. The home field win-loss record in the last 10 years before this year was about 59.2%. And this year alone, it dramatically changed to the home field team win record of 50.2%, just above 50-50, almost 50-50. These stats shows a dramatic change in the effectiveness of the 2020 home field. Even though 1 year might seem like a small sample size, there were 256 games played, and home field advantage proved to hold a little or no value this year. There are many teams that have crazy fans and sellout stadiums, while other teams have a hard time filling up stadiums. One of the very popular stadiums that has a lot of noise, always sell out, Seattle Seahawks and the Miami Dolphins, from the exception of this year, rarely sold out stadiums. Better teams always end up having more sold out games, resulting in better home field advantage. And they have the better home win-loss record than other teams. So the better just get better with the home field advantage. How do crowds affect scores and stats? Crowd noise can support and motivate players. Crowd noise can change depending on who's on offense or not. When the home team is on offense, they tend to be quiet. The crowd tends to be quieter, so the players can communicate better. But when the other team is on offense, you'll see the defenders trying to hype up the crowd and encourage them to be loud and throw the other team's offense off. Here's a well-known popular clip from a run in a Seattle Seahawks game from 2010. This video showed after a great play how loud a stadium could get. It was the loudest point in NFL history due to the noise and fans jumping up and down. It actually registered as a man-made earthquake. This helped the Seattle Seahawks become the popular team they currently are. So I guess I'll exit out of the slide thing to do the video.
Yeah.
All right. The thing up top here is blocking the other slide here. If you look at my screen, like
Should be able to just move that. Can you slide that down?
Oh, you can move that.
Can you just like slide the box, that black?
It's a green box. Let's see. There you go. You can just do it this way.
All right.
There you go.
Hopefully it loads here.
It's slow to load.
Yeah.
That's not your load though. Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Yes. This is one of my first memories of football, and 2010, just when I started watching it, and this play was very, sticks with you. It's one of the best runs of all time. My wife's still over. There we go.
Crowd silent. Wall. Oh, look at this run. What a run. Marshawn Lynch. Still. His block is down. He's dancing his way for the touchdown.
Yeah.
That's as good an effort as I've ever seen in my life from a running back who they traded for from Buffalo. Downhill, physical, and down the field, you're going to see Matt Hasselbeck and the whole offensive line. Watch him cut it back, and you're going to see all kinds of people sprinting down the field to help him. He breaks the tackle of Shanley, runs through Sharper, runs through Adele, runs through Jabari Greer. Get off me, he says to Tracy Porter. Look all the way down the field, Hasselbeck, all the offensive linemen. Are you kidding me? Columbus is down the field, 78 Columbus, the offensive guard. The quarterback, Hasselbeck, was 30 yards down the field. Look at the hustle by Columbus. Here he is right here. Hasselbeck, Michael Williams, Locklear. Look at that. Locklear and Hasselbeck coming up from behind. Are you kidding me?
All right. So yeah, that was one of the
Things in life are easy to take for granted.
All right. So yeah, that was one of the loudest moments in NFL history. I think it was actually, statistically. All right. Back to present mode. Okay. Some of my predictions before the season on having no fans at the games will affect the scores and stats. I thought it would improve the overall scoring efficiency of all teams. It would lower the home field win percentage. And when there's a crowd, it interferes with the communication, resulting in, more mistakes. So I thought with no crowd, the enemy team wouldn't get distracted and there'd be less false starts. I don't think this would apply to offsides because, there would be no voice anyway. All right. So stats this year with no crowd were The offensive stats generally really had no overall improvements. Some things were more than previous years, but some things were less, so it really evened out. The 2021 season, there was about a 10% decrease, as I already mentioned, in the home field win rate. So very, very significant there. Very surprising. I predicted there'd be a drop off, but definitely not 10%. Very significant. I don't think anybody would see that coming. Very shocking there. Right here, this is a team rankings website that I like to use. Probably it was how I calculated the win percentages with the home teams. Very easy to tell. Very interesting to look at stats. Shows in the last, decades and decades of football. Very good website. Watching the Packers for over 10 years, Aaron Rodgers is always the quarterback. So another great website to just look at his career stats and look at the other QB, you see how it stacks up with them. A great website. Some careers in sports analytics. Could be translating your analysis to a coach or someone in a sports team organization, evaluating players and team performance, collecting, organize, interpret, and summarize data, use mathematical and statistical data, use algorithms to predict performance, and sports psychology. That's it.
You can say that concludes.
All right. Yeah, that concludes the project on sports analysis and statistics in football. Am I muted or something?
Nice
I
job,
don't know.
Ben. You want to come?
Very good, Ben.
You want to come back to the screen? You can stop the share and then we can chat as a group.
How would I get to that?
Just
Black,
click
black.
stop share on the red.
Stop share.
There you go. Nice.
Good job, Ben.
Yeah, really nice
Oh,
job.
yeah. Okay.
We'll open it up to more of a discussion now, but if I can just start by kind of commenting and reflecting. I'm just so impressed with you. I'm just so impressed with your work and how you pulled this all together and how it was such a journey for you. I remember you sitting in my office and I was giving you my my speech on capstone and I said, you got to do this, Ben, you got to do it. And you're honest. And I love that about you is that you're like, well, what am I going to do with capstone? I'm going to do like statistics and sport. Like, how do I even do that? And I remember I was trying to convince you to do it and I think I got you. And then you took it to a whole level on your own of how you wanted this journey to unfold. And as much as the pandemic was a detriment, obviously, to all of us, it, in a way, it kind of changed the game for your project. And it made it really neat in terms of like your comparison with the crowds versus no crowds, which clearly we see now and we're going to see at the Super Bowl on Sunday. But you really did a great job of kind of letting the journey take it where you wanted to, and you see the passion in your work and your insights, and you're very confident too. I just want to add that speaking and listening to you talk, you're very knowledgeable, and you really just did a wonderful job. I kind of have the chills right now because I'm just really impressed with you.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, very good, Ben, especially with the extra obstacle of the Zoom thing, too. Makes
Oh,
everything
yeah.
a little more difficult.
Yeah, it's never fun.
Very nice.
Does anyone have questions for Ben about his project? Just any like follow-up questions? We usually open it up to the audience to ask any questions of their liking or make comments at this point. So feel free to take your mute off and speak.
Ben, are you proud of yourself?
Can anybody hear? Because I think it went silent.
Frozen.
I can hear.
Okay. Somebody was, I think Nicole, you were talking, but we couldn't hear you.
Oh, I just said, at this point, anybody can ask questions or comments, and Kathy asked Ben if he was proud of himself.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Sure.
All right, well,
I'll say something. There's going to be an echo because we both have ours.
I would suggest one.
Ben, I am so impressed with you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll just turn mine off.
Okay.
So impressed, and I know this is a long time coming, and you put so much effort into it, and there was passion, and I know it was hard to make all these deadlines, but you did it, and I also am so proud of how confident you were, because we all know that you love your football and stats and everything, and
Yeah.
I don't even think that his knowledge of stats could possibly be reflected in a portfolio or a project like this. It's just sparked so much interest, and you have, like, I learned so much from you. So good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, to, kind of echo what everybody else is saying, you did an amazing job with this, and, all along the way, it definitely seemed like you had, so much knowledge about football and all this stuff. So I've been very excited for your project this whole time. And I just wanted to say too, I had to do my college thesis project during COVID as well. And you made the transition way easier for your projects than I did with mine. So good job with that one. And great job with your project.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, thank you, Pete, for helping me through this. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Speaking for my husband and myself, all the work that all you guys did. And especially Pete, it's nice to see you. And Ben really enjoyed his time with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we did have, this did take like an extra long time with the, getting away from school and stuff, but overall, it almost was a blessing in disguise, because I didn't exactly know the direction I was going in before we had to go home. So last year, and then this kind of really opened up an idea, the whole no crowd thing. So I'm definitely not complaining too much about it. I think it really, it made it, there was a lot of ideas floating around, but there was no clear direction. And the NFL kind of, with the no fans, kind of made it really clear on what to focus on, because there was just too many ideas that weren't just one main thing. So really wasn't too bad for me. I kind of just fell in my lap, the idea. So I was really grateful for that, even though it might not seem very good right now, but I like it, I guess.
No, you did awesome. This is really what Capstone is all about, is letting the project take a life of its own and through your eyes, and whatever it is that you want to see happen, and you let that happen, and you took it. You were the pilot, you took it off, and you made it happen. So you should be really, really proud of yourself, Ben. I know we all are. I'm recording this presentation. Don't freak out. It's only for whoever eyes you want it to see. So I'll send you a recording of it. And feel free, whatever you want to do with the recording, if there's anything you want me to do with it. But I think a lot of people would love to see it, especially sports fans, just, your comparisons and your data and all the information. So if you do want me to put it anywhere, we do have a YouTube channel for Capstone. So if you'd like me to do that, I don't have to. And we could cut out areas like this part where I'm talking too much of the presentation. We can cut out areas that you don't want in it or whatnot. But I want you to have it, and I want you to have it saved so you can reflect and look back on it one day. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can say what I want to say easier, just, talking normally, instead of like a writing thing or whatever. So I feel like to get my ideas across, it'd be easier for, you know how it is, but yeah, Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. But I think you're onto something here. I think your passion of this interest is something. And I know that, you know, Miss Zuck's working on with you on some post-secondary stuff, and I'd love to be part of that conversation whenever you guys chat again, just, you know, to give you my little 2 cents about things and where you're going after this journey of high school and all that. So we should keep talking, because I think you're definitely onto some skill you have here.
Thanks.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you everyone for joining today. And I'm sorry the Zoom link went out last minute, my apologies, but I'm glad that you all were able to come. Everybody have a good rest of your afternoon, okay?
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Good job, man.
Oh, Maggie.
Your dog.
Yeah.